Alright, hey Scotty Doo, checking out your replay you sent today with Raynor. So, excited to see how that works out with an assassin this game. And with Muradin, Sonya, Raynor, Kale, Uther, you actually have a really strong team. So, that's a good sign to start. They have Butcher with double support, which could be kind of scary. But he's kind of really key to their... him and Jaina are really key to their comp. So taking one of them out can really make a big difference. You guys are a little bit more of a sustain fighting team. Actually, I mean, your team is really great because there's pretty good burst and sustain. But theirs is more centered around just bursting. Like you got that covered. Let me get your thing there. Should help. I'm not a big Raynor player. I struggle with auto attack characters like Raynor and Vala. But he's definitely strong, and I do have some thoughts on his talents still. I played him a few times, of course, but I'll pass along any feedback I have on that. So far, it looks like, well, it was looking better, but now it's 2-2. So, looks like you went bottom, and that's obviously good. We want to have this lane coverage for experience purposes, and you can see how important it is. Your team has 2 lanes up top, and they're not even getting the same experience level. You're helping out a lot here by covering this lane. So this is an example. This happens all the time on Blackhearts. Top lane gets ignored. Oftentimes what happens is everybody rushes up, they fight on the tower, and then within a few seconds, the chest spawns, right? Well, there's actually about maybe 10 to 15 seconds where the team needs to clear the top wave and then go contend for chest, because they'll get that experience. And in these ranks, you can see nobody's here right now. You can get a little bit of an edge by getting this experience. So just something to communicate with the team, or try to set it up so that one person's bottom, and then both of these lanes up top are getting XP. And since you're bottom, you're kind of playing your part, but just try to communicate that to the team, like, hey, someone get top XP or something like that, or let's get all the lane XP, or something like that. Just like we talked about before, just positive suggestions. All right, nice recovery. One thing to keep in mind, you might want to start game planning already with its composition in mind. Tassadar, I don't know what talent he's going to take, but a lot of Tassadars take wall, and if they wall you in and Butcher is hitting you, it's going to be rough. Either ult will be pretty rough for Butcher as well, in terms of the Land of the Slaughter, or can't remember the other one right now, but either way, you're going to be taking a lot of damage. So you're going to want to talent and position with that in mind. He's already showing that he is aggressive, and he's just going to try to go in, and he's got double support. So I know in your comments you mentioned that he started to get you in the later game. So that's something that you want to be thinking about early game, so you can sort of talent and fight with that in mind. It's like if you have a Nova or Zeratul in the game and you're a squishy, that's something you always think about, right? Like, oh, are they around? Is Nova going to come out of nowhere or whatever? It's the same with other heroes, especially like Butcher, but you really want to think about how you can respond to that playstyle. This lane experience is still being missed. So it's been 2 minutes now, and um, yeah, this really just needs to be covered somehow. Some like ping or a message or something. That's just a long time without it. I would save your not W. I'd save your Q. I don't see Butcher, but you need the Q anytime that he might come out of somewhere. So don't just shoot Tassadar for no reason. Wait, you can auto attack just fine and clear the waves. Use Inspire, and that'll help your minions kind of clear a little bit and auto attack. Again, just thinking about their composition and your abilities, you're gonna need that if Butcher comes running out. And now you know that Butcher is here at this camp, so you could throw out one Q if you need to, like that, and it's not a big deal. But when you don't know where he's at, you want your Q. And now that it's been a few seconds, you don't know where he's at, so you want to save those cooldowns. Yeah, like just save that, just in case. Yeah, there he comes. Your Q's down because you used it on Tass. So just save it, and then Tass is not a threat by himself. So when he comes in, you can pull back. When Butcher comes in, wait till the Unstoppable finishes, then knock him back, and you can get behind the wall. And then you don't necessarily have to pull back. If your trait procs and re-heals you, you're good, or if you don't lose that much life in general. And that's going to help you with lane coverage, because your team came to cover the lane, which is good, but the problem is that this lane is still not being covered. And if it were being covered and there was people here, there's coverage here, and then you have to go back, you're going to miss the bottom experience. So this will just help you with lane coverage to basically save your abilities, do some mana management, and just considering their composition and the moves they're making. I think what's really key there is that we don't know where they're at, right? So if you don't know where they're at, you always want to be ready. Alright, your team got a good finish there. You guys got the bottom coins. Looks like they turned in during that time because they already had the earlier coins, and Butcher must have got these coins, perhaps. Let's see. Maybe Murden. Maybe that was Murden. Okay. The big thing that we would just want to make sure there is that your coins aren't getting stolen, especially like all game. Butcher's really good at just getting the camps by himself, getting the coin. We saw he got that camp over there, and probably this camp of coins. So that early game XP advantage from the first turn in could help, and obviously throughout the long term of the game, you want to make sure you're not getting your coins stolen. So just pay attention to where people are and the coins that are going down. That doesn't mean you're going to go get the coins, or doesn't mean you're going to go watch to make sure nothing's happening, but you're going to communicate. So you might ping, you might chat to your team. Some of these guys have been mobile and they can take on that role if they want, but nobody's been really talking about it. I think this was yeah, we saw this. Let's get through that real quick. So they get the turn in. Alright. At 7, I'm going to check out the talents, the first 3 there, and we'll see kind of how that's shaping up. Right now, the teams just need to be soaking to keep up an experience. and making sure that you don't lose these 11 coins. That's what's really important. That's a lot of experience for you guys that you don't want to lose.
I think they've had enough.
Missed a Q there, but
Your world is upside down.
yeah, TAS is really hard to kill, so you probably don't even really need to use it there.
Looks like you just lost a part.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, people are missing. People are missing. I was just gonna point out, and then they kind of showed up. So you can see here, your cooldowns are kind of gone. This is a really dangerous spot, so I could understand throwing them out here. It wasn't just Butcher, so no big deal. But it does look like with their setup from both Monk's damage, Butcher coming in right now, and Jaina's, they're probably going to get you. This is just the map awarenessing. As they started to approach, I was already kind of thinking, hey, where are these guys? There's 2 on the map and 3 missing. Those are big red flags that you want to watch out for all the time.
Welcome to the crew. Huh? They're all paid up? Bah, who cares? Let's get to the fun part. Show these landlubbers what we're made of.
You just never get used to that.
Take a quick snapshot, look at the talents, XP, stuff like that. Looks like I've seen this. I think this is a really strong talent, movement speed, and then these are kind of really good damage talents that he has. Kale doesn't have the improved E, which you're not going to worry about that too much, but that does mean that the CC won't be as strong. This is an interesting build. He probably should have gone with Reverberation because they have Butcher and Kerosene for that matter. But really with Butcher, you can do that. I see people use this talent. I've never been a big fan, but I think it does have merit because he does have mana issues. It's just Reverb is so strong, so that's something to keep in mind because Butcher's going to be pretty much wailing on your guys' team. Wow, their healer took the damage talent, so that's really crazy. That's going to affect their healing output, so that's good for you guys. He probably did that because they have double support. It's really surprising. All right, so you look good there. As far as experience, you're leading the team. This is important. You're keeping, despite everything that's happened, you guys are down 2 kills versus what, you've gotten 3, they've gotten 5. So despite being down 2 kills, your experience is helping you stay relatively close. That's how powerful soaking is. Missing this lane a lot has been causing overall problems. This could actually help you guys get in the lead. So that's something that I would be paying attention to. If you guys want to, not just have a close game, you want to be winning and ahead. Try to get your team to soak all 3 lanes. All right. And your chat there. It's good. It's good.
Well then, who's got the coin for me service?
more good chat. Just those little acknowledgements are great too. So in the other game, we noticed there wasn't a lot of chat, but in this game, there is chat going on, right? I saw you start some early on, and now the team's interacting, so this bodes well. And so when somebody else is suggesting things, it's really nice when you can just type in like an okay or something like that, like you did. So I think this is great so far. We're playing smart for the current situation.
Keep the pressure on. Your enemy has it out for you.
This hero is getting on my nerves.
You guys got your ult, so you go in. Might have been a little bit early. Just keep in mind Leoric has that E escape, so he's going to be really difficult to kill. Monk can jump away. Your raiders are doing nothing right now. You can redirect them to attack. So there you go. But both the heroes that you jumped in on are resilient and can get escapes. So I would hang on to that ult. Okay, so we just saw you use your Q, and then a fight is also starting. So I'm going to rewind a second here. I want to see kind of why you used your Q, because it really is important with the situation that it's available for defense or to secure kills. So you don't want to necessarily just throw it out just because. Where there may be other cases where you do that, because Raynor's such high DPS and you're going to throw that out and get kills or get that stun from the stun talent. That's good. In this case, though, I don't know if it had a good use.
This makes my new best friend.
Okay, so basically you ran in, Jaina is in the front, and immediately autoed and queued her. So I think this is a mistake because she's really squishy, and having her right here in front of Muradin, and Kale and Uther, all three of these characters have stuns that'll keep her in place, and she could easily go down. Knocking her back isn't a killing blow, and it's actually kind of helping her a little bit. Additionally, Butcher hasn't even entered this fight yet, and now when he does, you can see your Q is down, and that means that you can't push him off of yourself or help a teammate that he's on. So you want to use Q on Butcher in these cases, or for killing blows. But I would kind of conserve and use it in the at the beginning of the fight for knocking Butcher off of his game, so that disrupts their game plan. So Kale survived, which is great. You got the Uther support for him. Muradin zoned really well, even while he was chained. Now, it could have been even better if you knocked him back, because he still took a lot of damage, and now he's not necessarily in the fight. Hopefully he can kind of come back in a safe zoning sort of approach and still get damage in, but in a lot of cases they'll just back off, and now he's not in the fight. So it's almost as if he's dead. This was great. You pulled back in like you should have, and you're able to get a kill. A lot of times what you'll see is people will chase, and everyone's hitting different targets, which is not a good scenario. Okay, so your Q's almost coming back. Your trait procced, Butcher's chasing you, and everyone on your team is alive. So obviously this is a scary proposition. What you probably want to be doing is trying to stay close to your group while evading him. So you want to head up this way and get to your healer. And Muradin's helping you out too, so this is good. It's good. And you're using your pings. You can identify your team is a little bit lower. So really like the play. This is awesome. Nice. Excellent. That's where your Raiders can really do a lot of work. Middle of the fight, people are starting to get low and running away, and the Raiders just finish them off, basically. So I know we're only 10 minutes in, but this already looks like a really strong game early. Besides the tidbits on Raynor and using Q and stuff with relation to their comp and Butcher, you're still positioning really well. You're communicating really well. And as a result, you guys have kept up an XP. You're ahead in kills now. You're getting a turn in. So you can see, hopefully, that a lot of this stuff is really effective. I'm assuming the game wasn't a win, so we'll kind of see where things went south. But so far, I really like what kind of play you have here. All right.
Just happened.
Nothing but rubble left.
Looks like things calm down a little bit. There's probably going to be some coin collecting. You're pinging, helping out your teammate. I like that. It's good. Your top lane is pushing really well.
That's it. We got this.
The teams are about tied with forts and keeps. They just got to turn in on coins. So when I checked a minute ago, they only had a few coins, and you guys had a few coins, but both teams went on collecting. So this is it's getting to a point where they're able to turn in. They're pretty much close to a turn in. You know where Tassadar is. You know someone's here. I would probably try to block the turn in. Getting this camp is also fair. One thing you do know is that if you're here at this turn in while you have at least this vision, it's not too dangerous. You know, it's going to be max 3 people, so you might be able to, as a team, get someone out of position that's trying to turn in. Although Tassadar is the one with 3 coins, so considering that, yeah, you could safely go for this camp. Yeah, camp seems like the best idea. Oh. Good kill on Leo. Oh, I'm gonna slow this down again. Really nice. I want to take a quick look here. Your XP is great. Your damage, Jaina, you, and Sonya are all staying relatively close, so this looks pretty solid. And yeah, continuing on. A little bit of an overextension there, it looks like. Muradin zoning that, so that's good.
Trouble staying grounded.
Looks like your foe beat you to it. Let this be a lesson to you.
Alright, so game's still really close. They've got coins still, and that overextension by the other 2 on your team allowed them to get a turn in and kind of get control of the map again. So This
Put
is,
Davy Jones' locker with you.
yeah, Sonya's on point there. She's thinking the same thing I am. You need to watch the coins and um, just not make those overextensions again. Make sure you're using the retreat ping and just keep up that positive communication. Really curious how this one goes down because of the composition you guys have and how the game has gone so far. It almost kind of feels like a late game fight might just decide this game or something. It is likely they could be going for boss, so who's pinging that? It looks like you might have pinged that, and yeah. So this is a standard. This is kind of an older thing that would happen. You may remember just kind of the play, which is you grab the hard camp, and then especially if you have vision, but once you grab this hard camp, it's something that they're going to have to deal with, and then the team would grab the boss. So if they catch a glimpse of where the team is at, or if your team turns in or something to that effect, it basically just gives them confidence and they have the vision to grab the boss. So right now I'd be kind of assuming that's what they're doing, and if I had a hero with vision, I would be checking the boss, or I would be trying to get my team to go up there. I'm assuming you guys don't have 14 coins, yeah, so your turn in isn't as relevant. Looks like you picked up on that as well. Butcher with the monk could easily do the boss, so your team's just kind of hanging out. Alright, good thing they didn't go for the boss there. That was a lot of time, they definitely could have. Nice usage of the Q. Uther's on point with his invulnerability. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about this fight here. I saw you kind of go in here, and it's a little bit dangerous. Jane is very dangerous, and both their damage are kind of back here. So basically, you want to make it hard for them. They had to pull back because they were starting to get low. They had to get out of there, but then you're going in and trying to finish them. I think you made a smart call where you pulled back. You know, there's a gray area, right? Like there's maybe an invisible line here and an invisible line here. If you're coming in and you don't even enter the area, you're probably not being effective. But if you go way past this line, then they're just going to turn around and kill you, and your team's not going to save you. So you came like right in that gray area. You were still poking there, and then you pulled back and got auto damage there. So that looked pretty good. At first I was a little worried, but I think you played that all right. Kale Class needs to be really careful. Alright, so yeah, it worked out really well. You guys got a kill. Your positioning was great. You got good damage in. And now you guys get the turn in.
Seems we've reached an accord.
Alright, so before we go forward, Kale's going back. You look good on mana. Your whole team looks fairly good on HP mana except for Kale. So priorities in my mind are cleaning up this top lane and securing vision. So I'd probably sweep up here, clear that, clear bottom, in some combination thereof. And I would be communicating with the team. Nice commentary there.
Fire that cactus, or I'll fire your skull at him instead! Kiss that horse goodbye!
Alright, teams, you guys won your fight and kind of hit those objectives, right? You get in the mid lane. Kale's really good for cleaning up big camps with Living Bomb, so that worked, and you and Sonya are able to get that camp. And now you guys are reconvening. Oh, gosh, this is going to be a tough break, I know, because you guys played good on this game up to this point. a lot of action going on. It looks like you got an awesome flank in here. I didn't actually notice that part of it, and that's great. Kale cast his ult on their tank, which I don't think is the wisest use of it, but um, uh, pretty much they didn't take the monk's divine. I don't remember what it's called, divine palm. So besides his regular heals and Tacit Shield, really any target's gonna have a rough time with it. So um, you're getting a good flank in. They put up this wall, and I don't. I think your team is in a really strong position. So I predict you guys win this fight too. Looks like they skated away with just the hair on their chin. Jaina's damage actually ended up being really important there because it kind of put your team on edge a little bit, but I'm surprised that there wasn't a kill there. Nobody's fault, so just good play on both sides. Hopefully this was an enjoyable game for you. Just watching it, it feels like a pretty tight game. It feels like both teams are pretty decent. I don't see like one person kind of going off making huge mistakes. The biggest mistake, which both teams were making, was just not soaking. One team could have got a good advantage early on just by getting all 3 lanes. But so far, this has been a pretty fun game. A little bit of time's passed. It's start to tasks showed up, so maybe they're not on boss, but really they're a threat to do that at any time because of Butcher. They also hold the coins, yeah. So this is kind of what I would have expected. Butcher with his self heal and any other healer can really grab it, kind of under the radar. But with their whole team missing, that's always a concern. Okay. As this was shaping up, I was kind of wondering where this fight might go down. This spot always sucks for this side because you can see as they come in, Kale is over here, your healer is over here. So what happens a lot of times is somebody will die or get low and they kind of jump away one way or the other, and your team ends up splitting, one going this way, one going this way. A lot of times teams die because of that situation. So this is something to look out for. Like you kind of want to be more aware of the map positioning. This is one of the spots for Blackhearts, but a lot of maps have spots like this. This is a dangerous area to be fighting in for your side of the team. You also have the boss barreling down, so you guys really need to pull back. They're going to get a turn in, but actually they already got their turn in. So yeah, defending is key right now. You might lose a keep or whatnot, but you want to prevent more damage from happening from the boss and not really have anybody die right now. Deaths right now, the game's already getting into the late area, so they're going to be devastating. Okay, so still a little bit of that split. It's not going as bad. Sonya is really causing disruption in the backline, which is good. But this is probably one of the times you're talking about where Butcher just does work. Hopefully you guys can trade, but basically this split always causes trouble. You got the trade, so that's good. The wall is kind of annoying for Uther. Oh, another wall. He's going way too deep. So far, kind of what I was thinking is that a late game kind of fight would be the downfall of this game. That was definitely one of them because the game didn't end at this very moment, but basically because of the boss's damage here, and the turn-in, you lost 2 keeps. So the thing here that you can try to do for your team is just ping, get the hell out of here, right? Or back or whatever type, that sort of thing that we've talked about. This is a crappy spot to fight in. Uther had a hard time reaching, Sonya up here. You and Kael'thas over here. So it was just kind of a mess. Butcher flanked really well, and at the whole time the boss was fighting you guys. So that was definitely a not a good position to fight in.
Let's make it count.
And that wasn't a huge individual mistake. That was just a team mistake. That was a team. You guys are working together, but just not in the best position with the best timing. Some things that I would think of to prevent that would be, one, you want to zone away from the boss. Don't let him get the boss, because that puts you guys under pressure. It gives them the free turn in. And then 2, just being aware of these like pinch areas, so that you're not the team that's getting split and stuck in them.
Looks like your foe beat you to it. Let this be a lesson to you.
Oh. Okay, so it looks like Sonya died here. So now it's kind of in the stage of late game mistakes. People are just separate. This is different than most of the game has been playing out. And what ends up happening is that people die, and you want to be on the upper side of that coin, of course. So what you're hoping for here is that you get this butcher kill and trade somewhat favorably, or at least trade equally. So you guys at least got that.
Much obliged.
But they're getting your camp, so now you're just in defense mode again. Grab that 20 talent. You're probably going to want to get Blink, so looks like you're still debating on that one. Kael should be picking Blink against Butcher. Dana got Blink, which is good. Yeah, so really it's you guys need to take Blink. Kael, you can't change Kael's talents, obviously, but that's key against him. Against Butcher, some heavy front lines, anybody with CC, I mean, it's just an overwhelmingly strong talent pick for that reason. And more of the, people out of position, dying. She is right that if they get a cannon, you lose, but they don't seem to have coins, so she's making a mistake there. I'm not missing anything, am I? No. I mean, she's...
Much obliged.
Yeah. Oh, that was Kael'thas, yeah. So Kael'thas is saying she's trying to stop him, and she didn't even need to. Or he. Kael's a he. Blackhearts is a tough map because you guys are equal up to that one big fight, and from this point they can really just lean on getting coins and winning. And so it ends up just usually bringing a slow death, or they use their XP advantage or whatever and win a fight, or your team falls apart from being split, stuff like that. And that's kind of what happened, was that one big fight flipped it from you guys being close to even to being really far behind. Good job, I saw you kind of change direction there, you stayed with your team. Alright. So this is going to determine whether you lose right now, or if you can start mounting a comeback. One thing I've noticed right away is that in previous fights, you guys engaged together. You had really good setups and protected each other. In this particular case, Sonya's way over here, Uther's down here, Kale's in the middle. I mean, this is probably one of the better positions because they don't see that they're going to get pyroblasted. And then this is kind of your front line. So if you look at their team, they've got a nice line here. They've got this beefy front. Um, they've got support right here behind them. Jaina can pretty much damage anybody as she needs to. So they're already in a much better position. This happens so fast sometimes. You may not notice it, but all the other fights prior, you guys were, kind of doing that little dance that happens, and that's you need to do that here as well. Um, so let's see how it goes. Very nice. Uther is a great healer. He got his invulnerability timing. That allowed you guys to just really own the butcher. Sonya's still alive, so that's good. Yeah, that was awesome. So I wouldn't have anticipated that outcome. Your team just did freaking awesome. So right now the mode needs to be, how do we capitalize on this massive advantage? The first thing, you guys could actually win right now. The way you would do that is everybody, especially look at your mana and health, go through center. There's no wall. It's close. Kill the keep. This literally would take you about 40 seconds, and only Tassadar would be your defense. That's the best priority. You probably need one person to defend, like Sonya or Kale, and other than that, I would try to go for the win. In fact, you might be able to outdamage this because you'll have these defenses coming up. Second thing you could do is get boss, because that'll give you the opportunity to win with a push. And so that's the second best option, and that's the two things that need to happen.
Time for a short reprieve.
So Kale's going for the defense.
Seems we reached an accord. Let's show your enemies.
Got the turn in, and you're going for the boss. So this is fine. It's a little bit of the riskier. Yeah, these things were messing you guys up. There's a lot of that.
Your core is under attack.
So you had to. Maybe they win with a core rush at the end.
Your cannon fodder.
You need to help your team in this case, so you guys need to go as 5. Just Kale defending worked, and get the boss. So the reason why this is riskier, though, as you can see, is that when they come back alive, they can just go and win. And you basically, anytime you have a chance to win, you want to take it, right? So it may not seem like it. Actually, your turn in got rid of the middle keep, so that would have made your life even easier. But you guys could have just walked right in and won the game. You definitely needed Kale to defend, though. At first I wasn't sure, but we can obviously see how much damage this took because there were so many catapults. But 4 people pushing in against just Tassadar against the keep could have been a win. And even if it's like an 80% chance to win or 75% chance to win, you basically have to take it, because now they have a 99% chance to win because all they have to do is walk in and hit your core. Spirited defense so far. Butcher's gonna eat the core, though. Yeah. Yeah, that was a good game. I agree, good effort on everybody's part. The one big fight mid-game, or it was like mid to late game, is what kind of sealed the deal. It wasn't completely over at that point, but it's really tough to come back. Then you guys won a decisive fight and actually could have won. The problem is that I see this a lot at low ranks. I saw this all the way up to rank 5. People don't know that they can win the game, and your team definitely could have won the game. Once 4 people were down against just Tassadar and a turn in, getting rid of their keep, that's definitely a win. You can walk in there, take their core out. As long as you guys kind of rotate around, put that damage in. So what do you do when your team isn't good enough to realize that? Basically, what I like to do in those cases is I type core, 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 ping, 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 and I run to the core towards that direction. I'll say like turn in and go to core. And then, if somebody's going a different direction, I'll ping them back. In that particular case, I probably would have been like Kale defend, everybody else core, or something like that. With Raynor's damage, Sonya's damage, Uther's healing, and Muradin tanking, the core would go down. So, Tassadar might sit there shielding it a little bit. If you don't take the core out in the 45, 50 seconds, it's going to be really close to dead, and you're either going to wipe at the core and lose anyways, like you guys lost, or you pull back, and now both of your guys' cores can be basically rushed. So you equalize the playing field in a sense, and it's just going to be a base race. Those are the 2 worst case scenarios. I would give that like a 10 to 20% chance of occurring. So it can still happen, but about 80% of the time, if your team all goes with you, you'll win the game. So just try to get that. Recognize when you can win the game. A late game that was about 20 minutes in, a late game team wipe like that is usually an opportunity to win. I've done it myself many times, but the reason I learned that is just from watching high level players in tournaments and stuff. Like if it's a late game wipe, they just go in and clear the wall, clear the keep, and kill the core. Good thing is that game looked like it was fun. It looked like a pretty close game, pretty intense game. I think you played pretty well. The only thing with Raynor, and I don't play him a whole lot, but it did seem like early game throwing out those Qs. I think you died maybe just once, maybe twice, where you could have used those more effectively. And other than that, I saw really good positioning. I saw really good positive contributions to your team. Those are tough breaks, but they're a fun game. And then basically down the road, you can start winning some of those by capitalizing on those late game fights, and those might start to make the difference from winning 50% of the time to 55% of the time, and hopefully keep you moving upwards in rank. All right, man. That was a good game. Thanks for sharing.